Hola, welcome to Ida's Kitchen. Bienvenidos. My name is Ida Lugo McAllister, and I am going to demonstrate how to prepare baked Puerto Rican pastel, Pastel Puertorriqueño al Horno. The traditional pasteles are individually wrapped in banana leaves, boiled, and mainly served during the Christmas holidays. They are considered our version of tamales. The dough masa consists of grated yautías, green bananas, and green plantains that is filled with stewed pork meat. For this cooking demonstration, the dough and pork meat will be prepared the same way for regular pasteles. However, instead of wrapping the pastel individually, I plan to layer the dough and meat in a large pan to serve one huge pastel. Once the pastel is baked, you can cut the pastel into even squares before serving with a spatula. The first step is to prepare the Anado Oil. To prepare the Anado Oil, pour 2 cups of extra virgin olive oil into saucepan and add 3/4 cup of Anado seeds. Stir well. Heat oil and Anado seeds over medium-low heat until the oil turns a bright red-orange color. Don't overheat the oil mixture because the Anado seeds and oil will turn almost black. After 5 minutes of heating, the oil now has a red-orange color. The Anado oil is ready. The last step is to strain the oil using a fine mesh sieve. Carefully strain the Anado oil into a glass bowl. Discard the used Anado seeds. Cover bowl with lid and set aside. Another main ingredient that we will be using is sofrito, our parade condiments. A link will be posted for preparing sofrito in large batches and sofrito for a single meal for those individuals that are interested. This is 1.5 pounds of pork shoulder butt roast that has been rinsed, trimmed of excess fat, and cut into 1/2 inch cubes. We are ready to cook the pork meat. Pour 1/2 cup of water into saucepan and add the pork meat. Cook for 20 minutes over medium heat. Cover saucepan with lid. Let's stir the pork meat after 3 minutes of cooking. Cover saucepan with lid and continue cooking, stirring occasionally. After 20 minutes of cooking, let's add the remaining ingredients. 4 ounces of diced lean ham, 1.5 teaspoons of light salt or to taste, 1/3 cup of Anado oil, 3 minced garlic cloves, 2 tablespoons of tomato sauce, 2 tablespoons of sofrito made with culantro, 4 sprigs of chopped cilantro, 1/2 cup of seedless raisins. This is optional. The raisins provide a touch of sweetness to the pastel. 15 pimiento stuffed green olives cut into halves. 1 tablespoon of capers. And 1 can, 15 ounces of garbanzo beans, chickpeas without liquid. Stir all the ingredients until well blended and bring the liquid to a boil. The liquid is boiling, so let's reduce the heat to medium-low and stir the pork meat. Cook for 40 to 50 minutes or until the pork is thoroughly cooked and most of the liquid is absorbed. Cover saucepan with lid. The pork meat has been cooking for 50 minutes and most of the liquid is absorbed. The meat is definitely coated with the tomato oil-based sauce. If you still have plenty of liquid, then remove the lid from saucepan and cook over medium heat to thicken sauce. The pork filling is ready. The final step is to cut and peel the viandas to prepare the dough masa for the pastel. Depending on the size of the produce, the viandas will consist of 7 green bananas, 1 green plantain, and 1.5 pounds of yautía, already peeled. I prefer to use the white or yellow flesh yautía, but I don't live in Puerto Rico. Me da pena que yo no vivo en Puerto Rico. Therefore, I can only purchase what is available at the Latin market. Let's start cutting and peeling the viandas. With a knife, cut both ends of the green plantain. Make several slits lengthwise from top to bottom, barely touching the flesh. Peel the green plantain using your hands. Cut both ends of the green banana with a knife. Make 3 separate slits lengthwise from top to bottom, barely touching the flesh. Peel the green banana with your hands. With a knife, cut both ends of the yautía. Peel the yautía with a knife or potato peeler. We just finished cutting, peeling, and rinsing the viandas. The next step is to grate the viandas using a food processor. I love to use my food processor to grate the viandas. However, many individuals use a machine grater that can be purchased online, or you can use a box grater. If you use a box grater, grate the viandas on the side of the superfined blade. I am ready to grate the viandas. Let's add the yautía into the opening of the lid and slightly apply pressure with the food pusher to grate the yautía. Continue this process until all the viandas are grated. All the viandas have been grated for our pastel. Place dough in a bowl. The next step is to season and add color to the dough. But first, let's stir the dough until well blended. Add 1.5 tablespoons of light salt or to taste and 1 cup of Anado oil. Stir the dough until the color of dough is uniform, a bright orange color. If you feel the dough needs more coloring, then add Anado oil in small amounts. We can now gradually pour 1 cup of warm milk. Stir to blend the milk into the dough. The milk will give the dough a creamier texture. We just finished preparing the dough. Preheat oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I have here the stewed pork meat and the dough, masa. To prepare the pastel, I will be using a glass baking pan that measures 13 by 9 by 2 inches. Before we can form the pastel, cut 2 plantain leaves to place inside the baking pan. Make sure you clean each leaf on both sides with a wet kitchen dishcloth. The plantain leaves can be purchased at the Latin market. This is the Goya brand, but you can purchase the brand of your preference. Before we can layer the pastel, lightly brush the 2 plantain leaves with Anado oil on one side. Let's grease the bottom and sides of baking pan with Anado oil. Place a plantain leaf at the bottom with greased side up. Add the first layer with 1/2 of the masa, approximately 4 cups. With a spoon, spread evenly to all corners of baking pan. The second layer is to add the pork filling on top of dough. Spread evenly as well. The last layer will be adding the other half of dough masa, which is 4 cups. Make sure to completely cover the pork filling. Place plantain leaf with greased side down. Cover entire baking pan with aluminum foil. I am going to bake the pastel using the water bath method. I filled this large aluminum pan with 1/2 inch of water. Place the baking dish that contains the pastel into the aluminum pan with water. Bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 to 2 hours or until the center of the pastel is thoroughly cooked. After 2 hours of baking, let's remove the plantain leaf. The dough is thoroughly cooked. Let's stand for about 10 to 15 minutes before cutting. I just finished cutting the pastel into 6 4-inch squares. However, you can cut the pastel into smaller or larger slices. Use a spatula to lift a serving of the pastel. You can serve this dish as a complete meal or accompanied with roasted pork shoulder and rice with pigeon peas. This is a quick and easy version of preparing pastel for a small crowd. Your guests can serve themselves without the hassle of unwrapping each pastel. Let's taste the pastel. The dough is very creamy, and the meat, the pork meat filling, is perfectly seasoned. You have all the flavors and texture just like our individually wrapped pastel. ¡Qué rico! I hope you have enjoyed watching my YouTube video on how to prepare baked Puerto Rican pastel, Pastel Puertorriqueño al horno. Thank you for watching my YouTube cooking video. Please share, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you would like a copy of my cookbook, visit my website, aidaskitchenboricua.com, and click on the cookbook tab. My cookbook is a bilingual Puerto Rican cookbook, and it contains 42 authentic Puerto Rican recipes that I learned how to cook while living in Puerto Rico. This side is the English version. If you flip the book over, the other side is the Spanish version. Again, thank you for watching my YouTube cooking video.